Hey everybody, welcome to your weekly angel card reading here at Beacons of Angel Light. Sorry that I missed last week's reading and I only posted the romance pick a card reading, but the angels are saying that it was all in divine timing. I was going to probably talk about this this full moon that we have in Pisces, and had I recorded it in the middle of this, I'd have ended up recording it in the middle of the Mercury retrograde, so I really didn't want to do that. They're telling me everything's in divine timing. So you're going to hear about it today, and even if you hear about it afterwards, things are going to kind of make more sense. So because it's such a huge energy that we're being faced with, I wanted to take a moment and talk about the cards I'm using. It's the Round Mother Peace Tarot by Karen Vogel and Vicky Noble. I love these. I call it the sex deck. So hang out with an amethyst here. And I actually have notes about this. One second, I should have prepared. Yeah, just to keep me on track, because there's so many different aspects about, full moon notes. Look, I even have a little mark here in this full moon notes. I journal a lot about the randomest things, about everything. Cosmic Insights. It's a really good app to download. I haven't downloaded it myself, but I have it on good authority that it's a good app to download. So I was going to look into that, and I wanted to share it with you guys because it has a lot of the planetary aspects. However, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that one is Vedic astrology, and I am going by Western astrology. So the Vedic astrology, I'm a Libra, but they would consider me a Virgo. It doesn't quite resonate with me. Anyways, so full moon. Okay, we have the full moon in Pisces, but I didn't even write this down, but I do want to cover it because it's been floating through my head, right? So why is a full moon in Pisces? Pisces, it's your half-year birthday right now. So also we're coming out of the Leo energy, which is a very citrine, I want to say citrine because it's a solar plexus, okay? But at the same time, I want to say garnet because, Leo represents to me the strength card in the tarot, right? So we're coming out of this energy that's very combative, very confrontational, very, I am going to do what I'm going to do. And it's a very fiery energy. Mars and Mercury were in retrograde along with several other planets. All of the eclipses that we experienced, this full moon in Pisces is acting like a cleanup, okay? To clean up the mess that all of those eclipses, they wreaked havoc because you needed to let things go and you didn't want to let them go, so here comes a universe and boom, it's taken away from you for XYZ reason, okay? And so this moon is coming in as a cleanup act, but not only is it coming in as a cleanup act, we're leaving the Leo, right? We're going into the Virgo phase. So happy birthday to all the Virgos out there. And we're going into the Virgo phase. The Virgo, for me, is like the Hermit card. They're very into their emotions, and they're carrying, in most of the pictures that you'll see for the Hermit, they're carrying a beacon. That's what this channel is called, is Beacons of Angel Light, because we are all the hermits, okay? We're the hermits of the angels. What we don't see in that image is this person is carrying a beacon, right? And they're walking in the darkness, and there's a whole herd of people following them because they know where they're going and nobody else does. So you're adapting the Hermit Virgo energy. Okay, now within all this, because we're coming out of Leo, going into Virgo, the full moon is in Pisces. Pisces is a water sign, our beautiful little fishy of the zodiac, okay? So they are swimming constantly through the depths of all of their emotions, and that's where they live, okay? And that's what's going to, I don't know if that happened with you guys, but it just like flashed. That was crazy. Anyway, my point, before I get distracted, is that we are going to be submerged into the self, having a lot of revelations and divine insight about the self that is going to encourage that same attitude in others, because we are the light bearers, the ones that are leading the way. Okay, so then now here to my notes. We have, so this is August 26th. I am recording today, August 26th. So sorry for the delay. It's Sunday. But today, triangle forms with the Sun, Saturn, and Uranus. Now, Saturn is the Sun is also gone direct with the Moon, if you will. They're aligned. So it's a grand trine. It's a grand trine energy. I wanted to explain that to you guys, what the trine energy is. So it's about timing. It's a magician-like energy. And the magician, I mean, we all possess the quality of the magician, right? But the magician makes him so good because he's all about when and where. You know, in real estate, they would tell you location, location, location. And I frequently say that time is irrelevant, but there is such a thing as divine timing. And the magician is very aware of that. Utilize it to your advantage. So that's what this moon is about, is the awareness of the timing, the divine timing going with things. So we have 2 fixed stars. We have several stars that are fixed in our constellation, which I am still studying and learning about their energies. There's so many to learn about. But I studied the 2 that are involved in this particular trine here. So the 2 fixed stars that are joining in the trine with the moon is Sadal Malik, which is known as also luck of the king. Could be referred to as the Aquarian energy, the water bearer. Okay, he bears the water. Water is life. And so this guy is known to have just fortune on his side. He's quite lucky. The luck of the king. So this is like an energy where you have the luck of the kingdom. You may be the potential subject of envy. So be careful. Or prosecution, like somebody wants you out of the way. It could be that very negative way, or it could be like in an energetic way, like at work, just be gone. I have no idea how that works out for you guys, but be careful. And there's a lot of beneficial friendships at this time that are surrounding you with that energy from that star. It's crazy that you've just come into all of these new friendships, or perhaps just a key new friendship that is truly beneficial. Now, also we have, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, Fomalhaut, which is positioned at the, oh, I didn't mention this, the luck of the king. It's the pale yellow star to the right of the shoulder of the water bearer. So if you're looking at the actual constellations, it's going to be the pale yellow star on the right shoulder of the water bearer. Okay, now if you're looking at the constellation to find Fomalhaut, which also is forming that trine with the moon, it's the eye of the Piscean zodiac, or the Piscean, if you will, constellation. And so it's the eye of the fish at the foot of the water bearer. And so it's probably one of the most dominant stars in the Abrahamic religions. It represents Archangel Gabriel. So it's a very spiritual, very magical energy. And it being so spiritual, so magical, so fifth dimension, so beyond, okay? It takes you to such high heights that it's actually like that distance is a huge fall. So be careful how high you're soaring. Consider how high the fall is, type of deal. So there is a sun trine with Saturn, and this is a time for achievement, recognition, all of your efforts in manifestations. Let's say perhaps you even wrote out like a list for manifestations that you wanted to do at the beginning of this Leo cycle 2 weeks ago in that new moon in Leo, right? So if you wrote intentions, or you've been focusing on this intention, manifestation or whatever, okay, so with this full moon in Pisces and the sun trine in Saturn, this is a great time for it to actually come to completion. And your strong will and determination is finally paying off. All right, so the sun is also trining Uranus, or Uranus, or Uranus, I don't know how you want to say it, anyway. And so Uranus is currently in retrograde still, but it is forming a trine with the sun. So this is increasing your intuition. Remember I was saying we're still coming out of that Leo energy, which is very solar plexus. Your gut instinct is like ding, 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 ding. So you have like a lot of self-confidence. You're having a lot of revelations, increased telepathy. All of your natural gifts are just being completely heightened to a brand new level. So it's a very exciting time. And it also almost feels like you're being thrusted out of your comfort zone. And Uranus does that. Uranus is the planet of unexpected. Expect the unexpected. Uranus is like the grand changer, okay? The shapeshifter, the one that doesn't adhere to the molds, okay? They break the molds to create so much more. So in addition, we also have here a trine between Saturn and Uranus. Now, Saturn and Uranus, they're buddies. They get along super well. They have a lot in common energetically, okay? So this is like a transition phase in life. You've had a lot of realization. You got rid of a lot of the stuff that didn't need to be there with these eclipses. You've done your homework. Good job. It was really hard, right? Now, it just feels like a stagnant energy because things are somehow at a standstill. You've done all of this work. You put in all of this effort and like, okay, what's it bringing? And you're ready. You're like, come on. I heard you guys. You said your blessings were coming. Well, where the F are they? And the angels are like, they are coming. Sorry, they said ring the bell. So take a step back, calmly assess, realize all the progress that has taken place, realize where you are mentally, emotionally, etc., 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 right? And take the time to study on the subjects, especially the ones that are coming to mind right now, but also your metaphysical subjects that you've been wanting to delve into, the spiritual side of yourself that you want to develop needs your study, okay? Because this is a great time for like a super standing, not just a mere understanding, okay? This is like a time for like super standing or overstanding, if you get what I'm saying. Okay, so this is a time to consider making lifelong changes also. Uranus being like the grand disruptor, master of change, and Saturn being this like CEO like energy, I know everything and you have to listen to me and do it my way, and adhere to the rules type of deal. A very teacher like energy, or a grandmother, stern grandmother type of energy, okay? Who like keeps everybody in line. I'm not talking about the grandmother who's like super nurturing of the grandchildren. I'm talking about the grandmother who tells everybody in the entire family what, how, and when, and everything. Okay, so this is a marvelous time because these two, like I was saying, they love each other. They're really good friends. They support each other's changes. The abrupt change is coming in, and it's supported by this grandmother CEO energy. She's like, it has got to change. Okay? So the things that are going to be changing are lifelong changes, right? And this is a great time to, by increments, make those changes. So if, let's say, the change is to quit smoking cigarettes, you know, perhaps you're smoking a pack a day, and by increments you will reduce it to half a pack, quarter pack, no pack, right? If you are consuming sugar and that's what you need to abandon, take down everything except for maybe like your coffee with sugar in it, and then eventually take that away too, and drink just purely water, because really, do we need juice to survive? No, water is life, okay? It's not coffee, it's not juice, it's not fucking beer. Sorry. So we don't need any of that stuff. And you're just being a spoiled brat at the end of the day. So come to that realization and gradually let it go. Slowly, if you need to, that's okay. Be patient with yourself, but really come to terms with the fact that change is imminent, right? So I wish I could show it to you. There is a kite spine energy that's going on here with the full moon. Let's see if I can find the photograph and actually show it to you guys, because it's just crazy. So here it is. I wanted to print it out so I could show it to you guys, but there you see the kite, right? Now that spine that goes down the middle of the kite, that red spine that's there, that one is, one's connecting Pisces to Virgo. That's what I was talking about. Like, it's Virgo's season, 3 degrees Pisces, 12 degrees Virgo, and this just makes me think 3, 6, 9, 12. You know, that's all, that chronology right there. So run with it, the numerology. That's what, like, it just, like, I was trying to look for it in the chart, but perhaps I'm lacking in experience, and I was checking in with other astrologers. You know, they didn't have the 3, 6, 9 thing either. I was looking for it, but I'm still feeling that energy of 3, 6, 9, 12. Anyway, so this is an energy that can give you a lot of patience, which I know you've exerted a lot of your patience, and you feel like, how much more patience could I possibly demonstrate? But there is need for it, and so also a time to have a deeper balance of your emotions coming from your pain. The spine energy is pretty difficult to deal with, okay, because it just deals with pain and tension. But that's what's going to motivate you and inspire you to move on and forward. All right. Also, we have the sun opposite the moon. That's what I was talking about at the beginning. And so this puts you in a state of sink or swim, do or die, whatever you want to call it. Under pressure. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. So the sun opposes the moon in Pisces, and this brings increased tension in places where there is deep emotions, relationships of all kinds, including the self, family, romantic, workers, social, everything. So you're gonna be a little extra, all kind of extra, okay? So everybody's gonna be a little extra. Keep that in mind. And be deliberate with your intention. That's why I was saying about that Virgo energy. Thank God we're going into that, and hopefully that will bring forth a lot of introspection and self-knowledge, self-mastery. So form halt. I was talking about that star, the fixed star that's forming a trine with the moon. And so this is a very poetic, magician-like energy. You're going to be wanting to be drawn to the fifth dimension. Again, remember those soaring heights. You'll fall very hard. So try to stay grounded. Accept the energy. Yes, you know, like, oh my gosh. So I had my amethyst geode stolen from me, and this is one that I got online that was a replacement. It's far smaller, but it has so many more inclusions, and I wore it on me, and I had my very first ever complete out-of-body experience while in full wakefulness, and it was right when I was done driving, and I arrived to my twin flames house, and I started feeling a little elated, like a disembodied head as I was approaching the front door. And then once I'd arrived at the front door, I was completely just, I don't know, like outside of myself. And I could see, I had both, you know, this perspective of what's physically in front of me, but also the perspective of like a bird's eye point of view from above. And I was seeing the top of the house and the tops of the trees and myself, and it was just very strange. And I stayed in that condition for a good 24 hours on account of wearing the crystal, but I was, you know, very aware I'm driving. I am cooking and chopping something, you know, so remain grounded, here and now type of deal. The moon is sextiling Saturn. So when there is a sextile, here we go. The sextile is 60-degree angle, and the trine is 120-degree angle, and these are divine numbers. That's why we pay attention to them. Also, they are perfect angles. So the moon sextile Saturn, this is critical energy, very strict, mother-like. That's what I was saying about the grandmother, the CEO energy about Saturn. It's just bringing up your work ethic, your stamina, your patience, to seeing your projects through to the end, as opposed to abandoning them and leaving them go to the wayside as usual. Now also we have the moon sextiling Uranus, which I was talking about as well. But like I was saying, they are also together here, Uranus and Saturn, right? And it's time to shine your own original, authentic self. You know, when you do that, you're more well received. You've been feeling kind of not your authentic self lately. Like your authentic self is a bit misinterpreted or not as well received as you'd like, and it's because you've been projecting that, and you are not being your true authentic self. So it's time to reproject, re-dive in, stop overthinking it so much, and just regain that heightened sense of your psychic abilities. It's about that, about tuning into that fifth dimension energy, you know, everything that I was talking about, the crystal, but at the same time, like, hey, not too much, a little bit of balance. So on to the cards. Oh my gosh, sorry, that was so super long. Let's see what we get with this Mother Peace Round Tarot. Mentioned everything that I intended to. I think I did. Yeah, guys, so while I have your attention too, I really love when you leave me comments. It lets all of the rest of YouTube and YouTubers know that my content's actually relevant and good stuff. You leave comments and likes, and if you subscribe, that's amazing, that's great. If you share with people who aren't aware, you know, that's always awesome of you. I really do appreciate it. Also, a big shout out to all of my clients who get independent readings from me, and one in specific for a huge, massive donation from Miss Helena in UK. So really thank you so much, because we are looking forward to better video and audio equipment as soon as I can get my ass together. So, very exciting. I really appreciate any donations, and when you guys want an exchange of energies, you know, you want a personal reading, I definitely love doing those too. It makes me very excited. And of course, you know, the price is 50% off. When you need a second reading, you get either you pay the same and you get twice as much information, or you pay half the price and you get a follow-up reading within the first 30 days of your first reading. So let's see. Alright, so first we got the Four of Cups. And this is talking about how the energies were balanced at some point in the past there. I really want you guys to be able to see it. I love how in this deck everybody's naked. It just cracks me up. Anyway, he's on the beach naked and he got his 4 cups right there. So let's hear it from the book, because this book always has a fun way of articulating things. And it's a minor arcana. So this is you in those full moons and stuff, getting that balance by cleansing yourself of old energies. And that's why he's naked in the beach. The beach is cleansing and he's naked because he don't got shit on him. He's ready for clothes, or I don't know. And that's in the past, the recent past. Now in the current, what we have is the Shaman of Swords here. So the Shaman is also like a king-like energy. You see his crown is, it's all yellow. And that's solar plexus, that's intuition, combined with logic, because it's coming out of his head. And what's coming out of his mouth is blue chakra. He's speaking his truth. Okay? So this is somebody who doesn't hold their truth back. The Shaman of Swords is expressing your heart's desire and spiritual connections. It's literally what it says in the book. So also notice the guy climbing the ladder, and that's very reminiscent to what I was talking about with this trine with the moon and Saturn, you know, that the moon and Uranus. It's that divination connection. You're having all of these thoughts that are like crazy dreams and visions of downloads in your wakeful state. Pay attention. Your thoughts are divine, and you're not listening to them, and you're not noting them, and you're not learning from your thoughts. So once you finally do, because this is a suggested outcome, this is a very likely outcome for this coming week, is the Two of Swords. 2 is always balance or choices. But this guy is making an infinity sign with, I don't know if that's Palo Santo or maybe some sage she is burning. Yes, I think it's a girl. It's a girl. Well, she's making an infinity sign. So it's definitely a balancing. Also, it's nighttime. So maybe there are things that you're unaware of, but you are trusting your intuition, which is spot on. Yeah, so like I was saying, this is finding balance, peace, calming the mind in the darkness, still remaining calm, even though you're in the dark. All right, now this is your advice for the week, is the Daughter of Wands. This chick is running rampant with just the wild and all of the nature. She's like, woo! And everybody's running alongside her. It's great. Daughter of Wands. So this is rushing off onto new things with the wisdom of the past. There has been this stagnant energy of everything in retrograde and everything got blocked. Well, the blocks have been lifted. Mercury's gone direct and Mars goes direct on the 29th. So that's likely referencing this right here, or this is referencing that. You finally feel like the blocks are lifted and you're able to move forward. You're like, finally! So you're emerging forward. Now, let's see who wants to help out this week. We've got Keepers of the Light Oracle cards, and this is by Kyle Gray. Metaphysical Gift. I love these. They have a lot of insight they offer. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for the super long reading, guys, but I just had to do it. Okay. Sanat Kumara, light activation. This guy is cosmic. This guy is cosmic. He's not from planet Earth, okay? Take a good look at him. So this is about, it says right on the card, shine your light, your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. But and I don't have experience with this guy, Sanat Kumara. It means eternal youth, an advanced cosmic light being who's dedicated to helping Earth's rise up again towards the light. Rise up again towards the light. He is, as far as I'm concerned, the leader of the Keepers of the Light. He's been acknowledged as God in Hinduism and in the Mahabharata story, which has come down from heaven bearing God's divine plan. In more recent times, he has been acknowledged as coming from Venus and bringing through unconditional love. He has eyes that are made of the cosmos. With the ability to penetrate the soul and activate its brightest light. Yet, he can seem otherworldly, but his looks are beyond human. He is a being of the light, shining with the purest of intentions. He is the twin flame of Lady Venus, and together they activate the heart and the light of those who welcome their help, and that way they can shine brighter than ever before. So he wants you to be your authentic self. Doesn't this just go hand in hand with everything? Authenticity of yourself. Balancing. Speaking your truth and coming from your solar plexus in a place of logic, from your head, and cleansing all that nasty debris that we had to get rid of, okay? This is just, be yourself. Listen to yourself, because yourself is cosmic and divine. You're not from here, honey. If I'm the first one to break it to you, so sorry about that. Now, here's the true message behind the card, is that you're here to light up the world. And you may feel like you're being pushed or that there's a lot going on at once. And this is because your energy is so magnetic. So it's contagious. Other people want it around themselves, okay? They want that light for themselves. And take the time to listen to your inner voice, because it can get distracted or diluted with the voices of so many other I ams. Okay, so you have to stay true to yourself. And remember that the cosmic light of heaven is there for you. It's inside of you, so draw it back into you. And that's all you have to do, is inspire yourself to inspire the world. All right, so I hope you guys have a fabulous week. I'm also going to do a pull a card romance reading. I was actually thinking I'm going to do that difference. I'm not going to do the pull card, but I am going to do a romance reading, so don't forget to check that out. Also, your lunar cycle in Leo, and in a couple weeks I'll be doing a lunar cycle in Virgo. So I love you guys so very much. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful week. I love you, love yourselves, and love everybody around you.